When you envision your fantasy home, chances are you think of a large and beautiful master suite. Experts say that a well-designed master bedroom and bath can improve our lives by promoting relaxation and better sleep. Today on Ready, Set, Renovate, we see a makeover that's sure to inspire sweet dreams. Ceilings are so nice and high in here that Realtor Sandy Gee remembers this house well. Back in 2004, this 7,500 square foot Street of Dreams stunner won several awards, including the prestigious Aurora Design Award. But sometimes even dream homes can't escape an economic nightmare. When the housing crisis hit, this was one of tens of thousands of Florida homes that fell into foreclosure. After sitting vacant for several years, it came back on the market, and Sandy was thrilled to set up her first showing. Sadly, the house was a far cry from the way she'd last seen it.
It had just gone into total and complete disrepair. Holes in the ceiling, no bathtub, everything was drab and ugly and neglected, overgrown.
What was the reaction when you brought your clients in here?
Eek! Eek! Oh, I don't know if we want to take this on or not, but it was, we really fought hard to get it. There were, I think, multiple offers, if I recall, and I think a lot of people got scared away because of the amount of work needed on the property.
The master suite had lots of issues, including a style and color scheme that just wasn't cutting it anymore.
It was a lot of black and red and very Asian influence. It's kind of like, this has got to go.
The new homeowners took their design inspiration from a different part of the world. This antique door was imported from Egypt and dates back several hundred years. Standing just outside the entryway to the master suite, the green and bisque color palette would set the mood for the rest of the 1,500 square foot space. The crew made quick work of removing the dark slate on the walls surrounding the huge walk-in shower. New cement board was installed and prepped for the light-colored stone that would extend all the way up to the 20-foot ceiling. The red glass feature was also removed and the floor was leveled to make way for a decorative medallion.
Looking at the shelf right now, this is too deep.
The existing closet was in perfect condition, but unfortunately the storage layout didn't work for the new owners.
A lot of things can look great, but if they don't function as you need them, that just defeats the purpose of what organization is for. There is too much double hang, not enough long hang, not enough specified cubbies and shoe storage. So although it functioned for someone else, it's not for the current client.
Debbie says investing in a custom closet pays daily dividends.
You start your day and end your day in the closet. So having the organization, the function there is extremely important. So that adds value to your day. It helps you get your day started and ending correctly.
The new design had to fit within this fixed space. So to gain more storage, Debbie is working on a plan that will elevate the look and function.
One of the beautiful things about this space is the height, and a lot of people forget that they can use height in custom storage.
The new closet will feature a weighted lift system for hanging clothes and will take full advantage of the 12-foot ceilings. While Debbie finalizes the plans for the closet, the team works on repairing the large holes in the existing stone floor.
All right, so what we're doing here is we're filling this hole for the third time. We've already had a couple fills in it. It was very deep and large. And so the epoxy actually shrinks a little bit once you put it in there. And so we're doing a final coat on it to make it flush with the floor.
Meanwhile, the old carpet in the master bedroom has been removed, and the same 24-inch square stone tiles will be extended from the bathroom and closet into the bedroom. We've just about got this closet squared away, and now we're facing yet another huge project in here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is the master bedroom. We had to take all the carpet off, and it's an easier area to work with because now it's a floor that is already level.
Between the shower wall and the bedroom floor, the stone install takes about 2 weeks. Once that's complete, it's time for the new custom vanities. The team tore out the rounded arches and made way for the new clean-lined cabinets.
This is definitely contemporary transitional. It is definitely. Contemporary is where all your square edges and everything. Voila.
The lower cabinets and drawers go in first, then the gray-green counter goes on top. The leathered granite has a matte finish, which will be a nice contrast to the subtle sheen of the wood.
This is actually an automotive finish we put on this particular cabinetry, because this is a pearl finish where we actually have metallic glitter in it.
Coming up next on Ready, Set, Renovate, the schedule gets a shakeup.
In order to have the closets installed completely, we had to level the floor so they can support the closets just in the same level as the rest of it. So what we didn't have is enough materials to cover that and to level that floor. So what we did is actually level it with a plywood and cement boards on top just to make it possible to install the closets.
And a design pro helps put the finishing touches on this super stylish retreat.
So I think the look that you're going for now is just, this is what's in style, this is the light and bright, beautiful color palette that you have going. I think this is a lot more welcoming and it's a lot more to date.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Hart from Ready, Set, Renovate, here today with my good friend Tat Granata from Florida Home Improvement Associates. Tat, you're always bringing us great information, but today you have great deals.
We do. We have a great deal today. Thanks to one of our manufacturers, they're giving us a tremendous upgrade opportunity for everyone who moves forward with a window project and moves forward with an energy efficient glass pack. They're going to upgrade it at no additional charge with a free sound and security glass pack. So it's a tremendous value. If we call now, we can still have time to get it installed for this season.
We're here with Tat Granata from Florida Home Improvement Associates in Fort Lauderdale today, and we are standing right here in your training facility.
We are, and this is something that it's been a big part of our growth, and it's something that we felt was really important, not only to the growth of our company, but to really try to help out and try to find opportunities for people in the community as well.
Well, one of the things I hear most from homeowners when we're filming the show is that they have so much trouble finding people who are qualified to do the work and who are going to do quality work, but that's really at the core of what you're doing as a business.
Yeah, we recognize that it is difficult for homeowners to find a reliable contractor. You know, with our growth, we've been looking to find reliable crews to expand with our company, and it is difficult. So we've been able to put together a training facility where we can hire people who take a lot of pride in themselves and the type of work they want to be able to accomplish, and they want to go to a company that will allow them to use the best products, the best materials, and really do the best possible work that they can so that they can feel good about the job that they do all day and day in and day out.
So you locate these people who basically are self-motivated types who have potential to be good at this kind of job, and you bring them in here to the training facility. And when I asked you how long do they stay here, and you said until they're ready, which I think is awesome. So what do they go through and what do? They take windows like this and setups like this and they just do it over and over again until they become really great at it.
Really proficient. We don't want to practice in your home. No one's hiring us to do this installation, especially as it relates to protecting your home and your family with hurricane windows, and see somebody learning on your house.
Right.
So we really want to simulate that process here before we get to your home, so that anyone that comes to your home has been trained by us. A lot of times we can have manufacturers come in and do little educational seminars to give us more knowledge about the products and innovations that they may have, so that we can apply that into the home when we get there.
All right, Tat Granata from Florida Home Improvement Associates. Our master suite remodel ran into a scheduling snafu when it was time for the custom closet. The team ran out of stone and couldn't finish the closet floor until the new order arrived. They didn't want to hold up the closet install, so they improvised.
In order to have the closets installed completely, we had to level the floor so they can support the closets just in the same level as the rest of it. So what we didn't have is enough materials to cover that and to level that floor. So what we did is actually level it with a plywood and cement boards on top just to make it possible to install the closet.
Once the closet was in, Gabriel replaced the temporary shims with the new stone.
It's a huge stone, so it's 24 by 24. And the particular stone is a little bit fragile. Is more brittle than regular ceramic or other kind of stone.
While trying to navigate the tight space around the door frame, a few of the stone tiles were damaged.
And you can see that there is a line of fracture here.
It would take a little extra time to replace the cracked pieces, but things were moving forward quickly in the master bath. With the cabinet install almost complete, the team removes the side panels from the vanities and heads into the garage to remove a small piece of wood, which will allow for an electrical outlet within the vanity.
And what I'm going to do just to protect the finish on this panel is I'm going to tape off around the area that I'm cutting. That way the jigsaw pad here doesn't scratch anything up that I'm trying to keep nice. And I use a drill bit as a starter point.
With the new vanities and countertops in place, it was time to install the shiny new faucets and to get the water flowing. Once the heavy lifting was done, the pros let us put our skills to the test. Okay, Ron, so you're going to let me do the honors.
Yep.
Now that everything's hooked up.
Yep.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and turn on the water.
The hot and the cold water.
Yep.
See, I'm almost like a plumber already, right?
Yep. Right.
Okay, so crank this one to the left.
Yep.
All the way.
That's it.
Okay, and crank this one
Sure.
to the left. All right, here's
we'll
the moment of truth. Wow! We have water! Back in the bedroom, one of the final pieces has arrived. The small sunroom, just 2 steps up from the sleeping area, was converted into a workout space. Practical, but not exactly pretty. That's where a new set of barn doors comes in.
This exercise machine right here is kind of an eyesore to the bedroom as you walk in, and they're looking to shield it off. So what they're doing is mounting the substructure to the wall.
Once the supports and hardware are in place, it's time to get the doors on track.
What we'll do is we'll put a 6-foot level on the doors, and we'll make sure that they are hanging plumb.
Okay.
Then we're going to put the guide mounted to the floor that keeps them in a plumb fixed position.
It took several months to complete this master suite makeover, but for designer and professional stager Megan Morris, a turn to the lighter side was just what the space needed. What did you think when you walked in here?
Well, I thought it was beautiful, but it was dark. You know, and I love how it feels now. It's like a lot more welcoming. This is the color scheme, the light greens. It just makes you feel, it's very tranquil. It's the way everything's positioned. It's minimalistic. You know, you don't feel like there's clutter. You just feel like you could just move on in and feel very much at home. I mean, I think this color palette works for everybody.
The new stone and glass tiles glitter with natural light streaming in through the tall windows. A large contemporary tub offers a relaxing alternative to the spacious walk-in shower. Storage was a huge issue in the closet, so creative use of the high ceilings allowed for lifts that store extra hanging clothes. The cubbies help keep handbags and shoes organized, and the old art niches in the bedroom were converted into unique mirrored cabinets that ensure everything is tied together. The silverleaf nightstands frame the upholstered bed, and a gorgeous sideboard offers additional storage for folded clothes. 2 small benches provide a place to sit while putting on shoes, and a hand-woven rug adds a soft layer to the new stone floors.
Having that beautiful wood accent wall, I think it's very warm and inviting, especially in a contemporary home. I love when they bring the wood elements into a home that's contemporary. Otherwise, it can look too sterile.
Coming up next on Ready, Set, Renovate, Megan gives us insider tips on how to stage one of the most important rooms in your home when it's time to sell.
Instead of having all the usual things we have around our own rooms, you know, you just want to have 1 or 2. So you just make it very simple. On your nightstand, typically we have a clock and we have medications, whatever else we have. You know, we want to have that all cleaned off and just have a lamp. So make it really easy, very clean. And a lot of times I'll recommend getting a new comforter or a coverlet because you want it to look new.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Hart from Ready, Set, Renovate, here today with my good friend Tat Granata from Florida Home Improvement Associates. Tat, you're always bringing us great information, but today you have great deals.
We do. We have a great deal today. Thanks to one of our manufacturers, they're giving us a tremendous upgrade opportunity for everyone who moves forward with a window project and moves forward with an energy efficient glass pack. They're going to upgrade it at no additional charge with a free sound and security glass pack. So it's a tremendous value. If we call now, we can still have time to get it installed for this season.
Surrounded by oak trees draped in Spanish moss, this colonial-style home will soon be on the market. But not before professional stager Megan Morris puts her design stamp on this historic gem. I love the high ceilings in here.
I know, isn't it beautiful? And all the woodwork.
Pretty.
Yes.
So this is an older home, right?
Yes.
Yeah. When was this house built?
In the 1920s. But
Okay.
so that's why it has all that character and all the charm.
Right. So I see a lot of what look to be original features in here.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, these are the original floors.
Oh my
so they
gosh.
sanded these down and they stained them this beautiful color. So it's a very up-to-date color. This is what everybody wants these days.
One of the funnest things is that they had all the windows restored. These are the
Yes.
original windows from the 20s.
I know, aren't they beautiful? Well, they did a lot of work with this. They had them professionally restored. Not everybody does this. A lot of times they just paint over them, and they actually replaced all the roping, so everything is, it's the same mechanism, same weights as before, but now they work properly again, and everything's been restored professionally.
What's your design plan for sort of bridging that gap between the history of this home and that time period and what people want today?
It's so interesting you say that, because that's exactly what you're thinking about when you're designing it, because you don't go too contemporary in a home that has character from the 1920s, but you also want to be up to date. So we try to incorporate that into our furniture plan. We're bringing them a table that's darker in color, and then white chairs. So we really want to have that contrast with the hardwood floors, and then the table will be made up beautifully. Yeah. So they can envision, I think the lifestyle that you always want when you're looking at houses, how would I entertain here? Would this be a great house to have a family over? I mean, this kind of room, you could have a huge family over for Thanksgiving and be able to fit everybody.
So there are two really important things when you're trying to sell your house if you are going to stage it. Number one, you've got to have good photographs.
Right.
And number two, you have to have an open space where when people come to look at the house, they have plenty of room to walk around.
Right. It's so different when you're living in a house and when you're selling it. We try to tell people that when they have furnished homes too, because you might have extra pieces in the corners, and a hutch, perhaps a china. But when you go to sell a house, you want them to be able to walk all the way around it.
Right.
You want them to feel that extra space. It's really important. So it's very minimal when you're staging a house, and that's what we're trying to convey is, look, there's so much space, you can add more if you want.
That old adage, less is more, right?
Yes.
You were telling me that there are a few rooms in the house that are really important with staging, and this is one of them.
Yes. I love staging the master bedroom.
Okay.
I think it really shows this is romantic, this is beautiful, this is organized, and it gives people a sense of space too, where they can see that, oh good, I can put a king size bed here if I want. I can have 2 nightstands. A lot of times when they walk in a room, if they don't see the furniture there, they wonder if their things are going to fit.
Right.
So by we take all that out of the element, now they can see that it fits, it looks pretty, it looks romantic. It's different than the way we live in our own homes. A lot of times at home, you'll have an ironing board in the corner, or you want it to be your sanctuary.
Right.
You want it to be a place of peace, and this is what we try to show when we stage a house, that this is a place, this is refuge for you. This is where you're going to relax.
Right. Coming up next on Ready, Set, Renovate, after just 2 hours, Megan's team has transformed this historic home into a showplace that's sure to sell for top dollar. When interior designer Megan Morris was hired to stage this cute colonial flip, she knew exactly where she needed to begin.
This is the family yard. This is where people are going to get together. And it's one of the first things you see when you walk in.
It is right inside the entryway.
Right.
So, I mean, this is probably, as far as selling a house, one of the more important areas.
Absolutely. Yeah. If it's only in the budget to do a couple rooms, I always recommend just right in the beginning, because this is your wow factor. When they first come in, they either connect with the house or they don't. So we want to make it, we want to welcome them in and try to get them throughout the rest of the house.
We were just in this room a couple hours ago and it was completely bare. It has been transformed. It's gorgeous.
Yes, well, thank you.
What all did you do in here?
Well, our vision for this room was to really accentuate this fireplace because, like we said, it was it's a historical piece, and they renovated it, and they just made everything look so beautiful. So we want that to be the focal point. And they also want to make it cozy. You can see it will allow a lot of people in this room. It's a really big room. And you've got traffic flow that's nice and open on each side, so they can get into the office very easily. So when we design a pattern, we really want to accentuate the home's best features. And I feel like this is a very important part of a house.
Now you have a neutral color palette throughout. We have the darker wood floors and the neutral walls, but you've added some color in here.
Right. Well, we were inspired by the cobalt blue dining room walls, so we wanted to add a little bit of that because we do like to tie the whole house together. And then there's obviously a lot of whites and creams and grays in this house, so we pulled those colors into. And blue is always a very soothing color, so I think a lot of people relate to it. And it's we keep art that's very abstract and just kind of blends in.
For someone trying to do this themselves, let's say they want to put their house on the market within the next couple of months, they can work within the confines of what they have in the house. But what are some tips you can give them for ways that they can make it look like it was professionally staged?
Minimize. Obviously, the biggest thing is you don't want to have personal pictures or not too many. And instead of having all the usual things we have around our own rooms, you just want to have one or two. So you make it very simple. On your nightstand, typically we have a clock and we have medications, whatever else we have. We want to have that all cleaned off and just have a lamp. So we make it really easy, very clean. And a lot of times I'll recommend getting a new comforter or a coverlet, because you want it to look new. A lot of times, we wear out our comforters, and if it's a darker color, it might be look a little dated. And if it's a floral print or a plaid, that doesn't always look good in photography. So a lot of times I'll recommend just getting a light covered coverlet and put it even over your old one, and just put it on just for showings if you want, and just so it looks clean and crisp and new, because you're competing with a market where you have a lot of new houses. So if you can make as many of your things look as new as possible, I think that goes a long way.
It costs a few $1,000s for the homeowner to do this staging. He is immediately putting it on the market, which is an additional investment. And some people think, you know what, I don't want to spend any more money on this house. I'm selling it. But it actually can pay off.
It really does. Statistics are showing that the average 11 days on the market compared to 30, and for 17% more money. So you look at that and you look at how many months it's on the market, if that's 2 months compared to 6, or you've got that many less mortgage payments, that many less times showing your house, and nobody wants to show the house that many times. So it's much better to get it off the books, get it done. So this makes it go faster and you have more money, so it's definitely worth the investment. We've had lots of clients. This particular client, we've done several homes with them, and they see the value in it. So I think a lot of the more sophisticated realtors know about this, and they use this so they don't have to have the house on the market too long. So that's everybody's goal is to sell it quickly.
Well, you've done a beautiful job, and I don't think they're going to have any issues selling this house.
Well, thank you. It's a special house.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Megan Morris from MHM Professional Staging.
Thank you.
We're here with Tat Granata from Florida Home Improvement Associates in Fort Lauderdale today, and we are at your worldwide headquarters for Florida Home Improvement Associates. Your guys are going to be here in the training center this morning, and the first thing they're going to do is protect this potential homeowner's property, right? With this plastic.
It's a little thing, but it's something, and you've experienced as well by being on the job site, of how many homeowners, one of the first things they mention is the attention to detail that we take, even the little things like protecting their home from the inside, from flying dust and debris. And it's just a little thing that we do, but we also want to practice before we get to your home, because it is a setup and it's staging that goes on, and we want them to simulate that right here first.
And it's one of those small details that really makes a big difference for the homeowner's experience in having this renovation or this window change out. If they don't have a big mess to clean up after you leave, they're a happier customer.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And with this particular zip wall, we can keep the dust and debris contained inside a 3-foot area. And while we're working on this this window, and then when this window is complete, we can take down the zip wall and rebuild it into the next opening so that we're working in that contained space as well.
Okay, give me the breakdown of what the guys are going to do, what they're going to learn here today on this window.
Okay, so this is just one of the examples. This is into a block home, so we set up an existing window to simulate what we see. This is just a regular aluminum window. You see it's not impact. So when we get to your home, this is what we most oftentimes encounter.
Okay.
So we want to show them what to look for, see what type of home it is, and so that we can take this out with as little mess as possible and as little, we don't want to tear apart the whole home. So we want to be able to take this out efficiently, examine the opening once it's out. A lot of times we're going to be installing a new wood buck frame into the opening so that the opening is as strong as the window we're putting in, and then we're going to use a type of tap cons associated with doing this project at the best standards we can.
All right, Tad Granata from Florida Home Improvement Associates.